Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of the Economic Times Cutting Try Stories, an initiative by ET Edge. On this platform, we identify leaders and talk about their personal and professional journeys. And we also discuss about their traits, their thought processes, and the qualities that make these leaders stand out across various sectors and verticals. I am Dimple Bajwa, your host for this particular session, and today I have been joined by a very special guest. He has an expansive career spanning close to 3 decades and has been with Work Hard for the past 16 years now. I now welcome Dr. Avadhut Parab, Associate Vice President, Information Technology, Global Head at Work Hard. Thank you for joining us, sir. It is a pleasure to have you on our platform.
Thank you so much, and same here as well.
Thank you. So before I proceed with the questions, I would want to know, how are you doing, sir? How has everything been?
Everything fine. Thank you so much. I hope the same from your side as well. Family is quite healthy now. No issues.
Yes, all well, sir. All well. Thank you. So let me start by asking you about your early days in your career. How were you back then? And, how have you evolved over all these years? And how has this entire journey been for you?
This has been last 24 years of my professional in between break of higher education as well. Early days of my career, I was fascinated by technology that time, though the internet world didn't enter too much as today it is. But those days, I loved programming, and as a part of my that passion, I started my career as a programmer, and we used to code everything. Today, you have objects which are readily available, you can download, but those were the days which you were actually a creator. Nothing was available, and one of the passion which I always had it, how do I make the life of using a technology better? Today we'll be talking about value creation, but in those days it was an EDP, rather than nobody was speaking about IT and electronic data processing as a department, and you could see what best you can do with the processing. How can you record the data? How can whatever possible automations were there, and we were literally writing so much of the code, so much of the new logics and subroutines and whatever you call it. So this was a big passion, and one of the area which I always was fond of it, can I bring a change in by bringing a technology or making a small program also? Can I make the life of my colleague or in some other department better? And this has was my passion. So a lot of programming. My career started as a technocrat, but over a period of time, I felt that this is not going to help me to reach to many parts, or many. If I want to go tomorrow to higher levels, I don't think this is going to help me to rise up. So then I started developing a lot of my interest into the business side, became a business analyst, and started getting into business side of it, understanding the nuances, how can, and the backbone of technology. The passion was always there. So I was more of a techno-functional and grew up in that area. And then when the era of ERP came up, I think but those days it was BAN ERP. I was a BAN consultant, BAN ERP consultant. JD Edwards was there, and then slowly SAP started picking up at that time. So there was a lot of competition that time, and I thought this is a time for me to take a pause in my career, and can I do something differently so that it really helps me to grow better. And I did my master's from Jamnalal Bajaj. It's my BA, so took a break and did my master's, came out, and then I entered into my actually journey started with a automobile industry, which is a car telco. I moved from telco to one of the pharmaceutical, which is Unichem, and then I came back to Mumbai, where I did my master's, and then I joined back to one of the IT company, which is Atos Origin. where I think got a chance to get into overseas, handling project, more of the role was much more augmented in a business analyst. Technology was always with me, and from there I started getting into higher levels where implementation project, driving the project, creating different avenues for technology avenues, and from Ethos Origin, which was my company where I worked. I worked for Hindustan Lever, I worked for Procter Gamble, Unilevers of this big customer, Philips Semiconductor. So from automobile industry to pharma to semiconductors to FMCG to other parts of electronic systems. So we got a lot of exposure across industries, across open technologies. Then where I was leading many practices of SAP, and then one day I decided to go back to corporate world, move out of the IT industry as a core, but move into corporates and build my career thereafter. And this is how the journey from a programmer to today as taking a strategic position, aligning the technology to the objective and goals of organization, mission, vision of organization, and as organization grows, we take the organization on from good old days of ITs to transformation to now the digital transformation. So it's very fulfilling. I've been a student for last 24, 25 years, and continue to do so. Every day is a learning. A new generation teaches us more, and I love this field as a part of from programmer to now strategy. That's my journey for those, and it got evolved. I'm happy that I'm contributing to organization and seen the. I've been part of many acquisitions, so acquisition, mergers, demergers has been a great experience. So these are some of the areas which I'm carrying as an expertise in my portfolios.
That's a very interesting journey, and I really enjoyed the way you shared the journey with us today. So you've changed industries, you've switched industries, you've grown leaps and bounds in terms of your role. How easy or how difficult was it for you to settle into each industry each time you changed it, or how difficult was it for you to settle into each role?
It was difficult, but what happens in when you are in an IT company, through IT company, you are expected to learn this quickly, and there is a platform and infrastructure available in this. In most of this multinational, you get a very rigorous training, rigorous exposure, and by very nature, if you're a quick learner, have a good agility in your approach, and if I always believe in two things. You should be high on people and high on task. If you take the X and Y axis, if you can get these two, you might be short of some skill set, but you can always make up with your ability to high on people, high on task. So yes, it is never a cakewalk, but at the same time, I always believe in what we do is. We have infinite possibilities of making things happen. It is just a matter of me exploring. During my tenure with even WOCA, I completed my PhD, but it was not easy to do this. It was a 3 to 4 years tough time, but that's a wish I had it to make it. So I think our capability, competence, it's not me. I think everyone has this ability. It's a matter of, be focused. And if it is a fire in belly, I think we'll be able to do it.
Right. Great. So you mentioned about, studying after you started working and then doing your PhD recently. So was there anyone who had a strong influence you right from your formative years in your career, or maybe somebody who had that influence on you from your college or school going days, somebody who you consider as your mentor?
Yeah. I think yes, I would first give my full credit to my parents, mother and father, and for the simple reason is they were not well qualified, but what they did is they imbibed the values which they become rescue in when you go into uncharted terrain, and it becomes they help you in which could be honesty. One of the things which they taught me was a love for work. Whatever you do, you're not going to get the job which you like it, but you should like what you get it. So this is one of the small thing my father used to always say. There's a love for work here and dedication and maintain a low profile. That's okay. You will get it. Sometimes not, you will get success every time, but and success means some things to some for some success means money, for some success power, somebody it is position, and so on and so forth. So you need to be very clear about what. So these values today, and even today, these values helps me to remain grounded because so you can't be on top all the time. May fall, it may, but carry the people when you are going up, so that when you fall, you don't fall alone. So this is another. These are some of the values which really help me to remain grounded and stress free is more important along the journey. And you said it, um, one of my uncle, I want to name him especially because his name is Atmaram Parab, who was a mentor in psychology department.
Mhm.
And he always, until today, he's 75 plus, but he is a torch bearer. I think the way he molded me continues today also. I don't take a problem to him, but I keep giving a call to him every 15 days or maybe sometimes earlier, and just listen to him. And invariably he will narrate some of the situations to me today also, and various circumstances, how to do it, how we used to do it, how and this has become a great inspiration along
Mhm.
the journey during my Woka tenure. And he's Mr. Suresh Shanoy, who has been this is the third person who I came across, who was my boss, in fact, who was a CIO when I joined Woka.
Mhm.
And he has practically remolded me to suit to the corporate world. Because and he had given me a good mantra. If I don't recollect exactly, but in his own words, he used to say, three things: know your job, do your job, and maintain a low profile. So even and when he said maintain a low profile, I connected to my parents. They used to also say. So these three things, he exhibited all his leadership through his action. And he said that unless you people show this to your leader, you will not be able to build the rapport, get the confidence of the. You have to be people's man. Then because technology today is there, people are there with you. But if you can carry them along with you, maybe today you are in this organization, tomorrow you're in some other organization, and your peers will know you your by some of your knowledge, but outside your team, people will know you by character. So these are some of the shaping dialogues or whatever is it. They were not words, but and he taught me situation handling, circumstances handling. And in life, I always believe in you may be very talented, you may be very intelligent, and there are two sides of the problems. One is a solution centric problem, and second
Mhm.
is a situation set. And if you are good in solution but you're not good in situation handling, you will not be able to deliver what is, because organization, there are a lot of forces which create a lot of friction to you, create an inertia which is not known to you. So he is a man who taught me how to handle the situation, how to very very swiftly get through the situation. And he's really with me, and I really thank God for he to be one of my best. So these three people who really made a remarkable difference. Not that there are not many people, even my team members, they also give it, but these three people stand out in making me what I am today, and I'm totally indebted to them as well.
That's Really amazing to know, sir. And some of really nice leadership traits that you listed down there, being high on people and maintaining a low profile. So those are some really interesting leadership traits that I'm sure most people would be looking up to you for. So leaders, such as yourself, have been taking care of teams for uh, these past 2 years during the pandemic. Between all this, how have you managed to take care of yourself? How have you managed to give time to yourself?
Yeah, I think that's a good question because this was very difficult and especially I felt that yes, I didn't do a great justice during the COVID time to the family. We didn't realize the kind of quantum of work which has come to IT. IT became a live wire, and especially my profile being a global, and we are almost spread across the globe with 8 to 9,000 internal customer. And what has happened is one thing which good thing happened is we connected all these people, whether it is in the form of mobile, laptops, tablet, or printers. We came to know a lot about the internal customer. It was a very tough, but at some time, yes, most of our bedrooms were given to one to my two kids, one to me as well, so that at least I can have a dedicated. It was a really tough time. I won't say I have given a true justice to the family during this period, but which I realized it, and I think as we are fading out of COVID-19, that balance has again taken back. And I was very honest in telling them this is a phase all of us are going to go through, and sometimes it's like you're on you're battling with so many of the requests which are coming, and you can't say that A is not an internal because you can't classify, and I don't believe in that because
Right.
within our team we always believe in non-hierarchical approach. So if you ask me honestly, I don't think I did a good justice by balancing it, but to whatever extent, yes. The only thing which I always small justice I did is I'm a good cook rather. That's my hobby, and I believe in cooking. Get up early and do some kind of good breakfast to them every time. I'm a Goan rather,
Oh,
so
wow.
bring some kind of Goan delicacy to them.
So
That's
that's
something
how
which,
you maintain the balance.
yeah, that's something. So make their make them feel happy by giving them a dish what they wanted sometimes, and also give some helping hand to wife so that at least she doesn't feel that she is completely alone in the kitchen, and also
Right.
that's
That's
something which
interesting. That's interesting. And I really appreciate how honestly you answered this question, especially because, the lines between personal and professional space have somehow blurred during these
yeah.
times. It's become very hard for people to maintain that work life balance.
Hmm.
But anyway, moving on, you mentioned you like cooking. Apart from that, what other hobbies do you have and how do you fit them into your schedule?
Uh, Cooking is my one of the most. I don't think I have a great other hobbies to be honest, but I like Indian classical music. That's one of my
Oh, wonderful.
small hobby. I'm not a great singer, but I
Mhm.
admire and I like it. I listen to them. That's one of the, and I'm a very spiritual person. That is where I spend my at least 1.5 hour early morning in all
Mhm.
these pranayamas and meditation. So this is my. It's very handful of my hobbies. I don't have a. I'm not a great sports person to really. I believe in what I don't have, admire.
Uh-huh. No, that's
But cooking,
interesting.
yes, cooking is my hobby. I can really make someone uh, at
So
least
probably we'll
good.
get to try something that you cook someday.
Yeah, very much. Anytime you're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you, sir. So we all have a bucket list of places, that we would want to visit after the COVID era, especially. What is that one place that you would want to tick off from your bucket list soon after the restrictions ease down, or probably when most of the people are vaccinated?
I think I would love to, because I'll go back to my hometown, which is where I love, and stay in the village. I don't think I have any other place to go back and relax, and my family would also love it. Village life is something which I missed it for almost a couple of years now. Haven't traveled much. Otherwise, whenever I want a break, I travel down to Goa, to my hometown, for every second month or something over the weekend, refresh and come back. So I think the first thing I will do is go back to my hometown and be with the people in my village and get. I think that my expectations are very low. I don't think any.
No, I think that's the perfect break that you can have.
Yeah, that's a perfect break. I would say. Spend 8 days there and you're rejuvenated.
Right, rejuvenate yourself and come back to work all fresh. Nice. So lastly, sir, I would want to know, what does a day in Mr. Parab's life look like?
Okay, so my day starts very early morning. I believe in a lot of naturopathy as my way of life. Of course, my day starts with minimum 1 hour of pranayama early morning, very early morning, and I've been doing this for last possibly around 16 years.
Wow.
So that helps me a lot to de-stress myself, bring the body as an oxygenated body. I believe in that, and I've experienced it. And the second one is my spiritualism. Love that, because that's one area which has taught me a lot, and more than taught me, it has. I have experienced many of these energies, and I'm very happy that I'm connected to this area. I don't say I'm religious, but I'm. So my day generally starts with time to myself through pranayama, some part of yoga, and some walking, and then I'm back. And then, as I said, I prefer to make early breakfast if people want it within my family. And then my day actually starts at around 8:30 early morning, and then it's an office. I don't have the end time, because we generally work and response and support follow the sun approach, because we are operation is in Europe, we are operation in US, Brazil side, and also there are meetings after meetings. There are operations meeting, there are strategic meeting, and it goes on the day like that. So that's very simple kind of thing. And the evening, of course, I have time to family, have a lunch, dinner together. So that's sort of. Otherwise, I don't think I have a great, and I listen to music wherever I get time.
Of everything that you like to do.
Yeah, it's very simple, and I love that lifestyle, to be honest.
It's actually very interesting.
Yeah, and then when I go after when I really hang the boot and retire, I want to go back to the life which really gives you peace and some kind of benefits. For me, money is not everything. Money is it will come. I always believe in be after Saraswati, then Lakshmi. Lakshmi will follow.
Right. That's a mantra. We all need to keep that in mind. All right. Thank you, sir. With this, we come to the end of this Cutting Try Story session. Thank you for answering all my questions. And I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you. There is so much to learn from your experiences. And I hope to connect with you sometime again in the future. And of course, try the Goan dishes that you prepare. Thank you. Thank you once again for joining this.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate your time and interacting with you.
Same here, sir. Thank you.